Hello, my name is Zach Wright with Old Man Gaming. Welcome to another video. Today and tomorrow I'm doing little previews for some demos that came out. I'm very excited about these. These are in my wheelhouse. They are beat 'em ups all the way. Obviously, the first one I'm going to do today, as you are seeing the footage on the screen, is Marvel's Cosmic Invasion. A demo for this game recently came out. It has 2 levels. It doesn't have all the announced characters, but a good portion of them that you can try and play through with friends or alone. So yeah, I got some time with this, and I'm a huge beat 'em up fan, as you guys know. So let's talk about it. Now, I did talk about Marvel's Cosmic Invasion on the most recent podcast. But that podcast was kind of a doom and gloom podcast all the way. I only got about 5 minutes to talk about it. So I just decided to do a whole video dedicated to this one. And yeah, so let's talk about this. What is it? Well, it's from producer Dotemu and developer Tribute. This is the exact same team that brought you TMNT Shredder's Revenge. They are doing the Marvel Universe this time. It's very exciting because it's not based on any previous licenses. Instead, it is like a storyline, the Annihilus storyline from the actual comic books that they've kind of turned into a side-scrolling beat 'em up. So let's talk about it. It plays very much like TMNT Shredder's Revenge in the flow of the actual combat. However, I'm going to start right off the bat. I'm really excited about the gameplay in this. So in Shredder's Revenge, there are characters that feel very different, but there is a sameness, especially to the turtles, that just exists. Like, all the characters have their own kind of thing. Donatello has the most reach, Raphael has the most power, Michelangelo has this like weird jump attack thing that he can do. And that's true, but in this, I felt like there was a much bigger uniqueness for the characters themselves, especially when you add in some of the mechanics that they've added to this game. First of all, there's actually characters that can just fly, so they can just hover. You press the A button a second time once they're at the apex of their jump, and they're just there. They just fly around the screen, which makes them ideal for taking out those really obnoxious flying creatures. You're probably wondering, well, why would I have just a flying cat? Well, you get to tag team. Everybody knows that who's been covering this. It's a tag team action sort of game. So every player on the screen gets to pick 2 Marvel characters. That's why so many characters are coming out for this thing, because you get to play 2. What I found interesting here was I was expecting, like, I'm going to have a flyer as my second no matter what so that I could deal with the flying creatures. But there's actually a huge amount of ways to deal with flying creatures. Like, I found out that She-Hulk has an air grab, that when she jumps and you press the Y button, her power button, she actually grabs an enemy and pile drives them, which is really cool. Whereas Spider-Man and Venom have this kind of web swing maneuver that takes characters out of the sky. So even though there is like a reason to pick 2 different characters and switch back and forth between them, there's a wide range of coverage for what you are doing with those characters and how you're using them on the screen. And that brings me back to the uniqueness of the characters. The characters really play very differently. She-Hulk was much slower, doing a lot more power damage, but her power move is this auto grab thing. And when I say power move, almost every game that I've played with a beat 'em up has a light attack and a heavy attack. You chain those attacks together in different ways to create combos. And then usually a grab is if you get close enough to a person. Some games have a defense button, but that's kind of the crux of it. You then have like a special move. With this game, they ditched the heavy attack for a power kind of button. The power button works differently for every character, and I mean really differently. So let me explain. With She-Hulk, the Y button is an auto grab. It just reaches out, snatches the person in front of you, and then you can press it again to do a big drop kick to them, hurl them across the screen into other characters. Same with Venom, who actually auto grabs and hurls them across the screen. However, Then you have characters like Spider-Man, who has a certain amount of ammo that replenishes over time that shoots webs. Same with Rocket, who has like a grenade he can throw, or Nova, who shoots Nova beams. There are very different uses for the power. I mean, you then go to Wolverine, who his claws are always out, so it's not like his claws come out. Instead, he leaps forward onto an opponent, and once he catches them, he can then do repeated attacks or do a big hit throw on them. So there's a lot of interesting ways to play and a lot of interesting ways to use these characters in concert with each other, and I thought that was really interesting. More so than TMNT, in my opinion, much more so. I feel like TMNT, even with their differences, they're very samey. You can do the whole thing with one character, whereas with this one, every character feels very different. I found myself tagging out to certain characters just based on certain situations, and I really enjoyed that part of this game so far in the demo. But yeah, there are 2 levels. The demo is completely free on Steam. I urge you guys to go check it out. I do want to list a couple of concerns, just small ones. While everybody is extremely hot on this game, I don't feel like this demo showed us enough. We have been promised branching campaigns. There are people theorizing that there's skill trees to this thing. There's all sorts of different like progression theories, but we haven't seen any actual progression systems from the game. From the game, we got just some characters that we got to use through 2 levels. There's no background stuff for that. There's no experience points that we saw, nothing along those lines, which in this day and age, I feel like we need a little bit more than just some cooler new mechanics. Now, the mechanics are cool. It will be enough to get me to purchase this game and to ultimately play it all the way through, but is it going to keep me coming back? And the real question is, how deep is this game beyond what the demo is showing us? I compare it to Absalom, which is a demo that I recently did from .mu, which is also a brawler, and that demo is incredibly deep. So deep that they allow you to unlock a character through the play of the demo, instead of just giving you them all. You see the advancement, you see the trees that you're going to be putting into, you see all that depth to it, the different ways that you unlock through playing the game, and that's not really here. We don't see that here. This is very, very bare bones as far as the demo goes. Again, this is just a concern. I don't know that this is going to actually happen in the game. I'm planning on purchasing this and reviewing it, so we'll have to see whenever the release date is, because they still haven't actually set a hard release date yet, whether they have more to this game or not. But it's the only concern I have. Everything else is top-notch. The fighting is great. Enemy typing is really cool. The level design so far of the 2 that we saw are really cool. The music is great, and all the characters play very differently. And this demo is for free. If you want to try it, head on over to Steam, search for Marvel Cosmic Invasion. You go to the store page. There is a free demo. Download it. Give it a shot. I will be back tomorrow with another preview, which I'm very excited of Mad King Redemption. This is another brawler, another beat 'em up that launched a demo, and this is from a small 3-person team doing kind of almost like a Golden Axe type thing is the best way to describe it. Played quite a bit of that. Come back tomorrow for my thoughts on it.